In Privacy Watch, finding love online is tough enough, but scammers are making it even tougher. Facebook is rolling out its new dating app later this year, but some studies are already showing a rise in catfishing ahead of the launch. Now, according to a study done by Trustify, more than 85% of love scams involve Facebook and cost victims close to $1 billion, and that's just in the last 3 years. About half the victims were over 50 years old. Joining us now live from L.A. is editor of SideHustle.com, Cathy Kristoff. Well, Cathy, what is the process that these catfishers are using to target those Facebook users?
It's pretty simple, really. They just try and gain your trust. They will friend request you and then just start chatting it up. Hi, how are you? How's your day going? And the moment you start responding, they start trying to pull personal information from you so that they can find a way to get into your emotional life. And once they do that, then they try and get you pulled into theirs so that they can make you believe that you have a legitimate relationship with this person you've never met in person.
It gives, credence to that phrase, looking for love in all the wrong places. The Better Business Bureau
Exactly.
says half of these victims are over 50 years old. Why that age group? You think those people would be smarter?
You would think they'd be smarter, but really what the scammers are looking for is people who are lonely. So maybe you were divorced and you're looking for, you're looking to reconnect maybe with, your love on Facebook or your love from high school. And so there you are on Facebook and you're kind of open to the idea of a new relationship. And so they just get into that. I mean, it's a small portion of the people who are hit up that take it, but it's still a lot of people. I mean, you're talking about billions of potential victims, right?
Yeah. And with so many shows and information out there that talk about catfishing, the ways people are doing it, how are the catfishers actually still getting away with this?
Oh gosh, I mean, I guess some people didn't get the memo, but really it's the real thing is that these guys are really good at pulling on your heartstrings. They are really good at just convincing you that even whatever you've heard, they are actually a legitimate person that you want to meet, and they are legitimately in love with you. Somehow they've fallen madly in love with you, even though they've never met you in person. It's your aura, it's your eyes, it's the smile in your profile picture. Whatever it is, they just convince you that, you're really unique and special. And this is like the scary thing is, eventually they're going to start asking you for money. But what the people at Trustify found, which is an online investigation firm, is that a lot of the people who suspected they got scammed, when Trustify verified that they'd gotten scammed, that this person was a catfisher, a lot of them didn't believe it. They refused to believe it. Some of them would even go and try and meet this person in person to present themselves and say, I know you're the love of my life. They're that convincing.
Everybody thinks it can happen to somebody else until the somebody else is you, and that's how they find out. How can people be safe online? Because they're always going to still be online. So how can people be safe online?
It's the simple advice that your mother probably would tell you: be skeptical. Don't just jump into relationships. And then there's certainly signs of a catfisher, and one of them is that the person is somehow away from you, physically difficult to meet in person. So a lot of them pretend that they're working on oil rigs out in the ocean, or they're military, or some of them will say that they're overseas to start, that they're a foreign national somewhere, but they are dying to meet you. And that's also how the first pitches for money start, is they'll say, oh, I really want to meet you, but for some reason I can't get access to my funds. Yeah. And so they want you to send them money for a ticket, or for taxes, or for a problem with their children or something. There'll be some emergency. And, just when you start seeing these things, whatever you want to try and meet them, and they have excuse after excuse why they can't meet you in person, they can't talk in person, and now they start asking for money, it's a catfisher.
Another thing to be skeptical about. Cathy Kristoff, thank you for joining us.